Hey guys, so I just gotta tell you, I was wrong. What was I wrong about? Well, in the last video, I opined about how nothing really changed since October 7th, specifically as far as how Israel, the government of Israel, deals with its enemies. But I'll tell you guys something. That is true. That's still a fact. But our friend Rabbi Mendel Kessen, my friend, and who's one of my teachers, first and foremost, showed me that something did change, my friends. Something did change. A lot changed, actually. Because I was upset, I was talking to a lot of these people who were asleep before October 7th, and all the attacks that Israel had, it wasn't enough for them. And now we needed this, ocean of blood for things to change in their minds, right? And I said nothing changed. It was always like this before, and the Israeli government was always dealing in the same way that they're dealing now, just kind of on a grander scale. But guys, a lot did change. A lot did change. A lot of minds in Israel that were not previously in the reality of the situation, a lot of those minds changed. A lot of people realized that, for example, and it wasn't only Mia Shem and others like her, the former hostage, who got out immediately, about a month or two after. There's a lot of people in Israel who basically started realizing that there are no civilians in Gaza, right? That's one thing that changed. The other thing that changed, guys, is that now we are on a trajectory, the Jewish people, Israel, etc., etc. We are on a trajectory to something incredible. Something where Hashem is taking us, by the scruff of our necks, really. Almost like we have no choice. And it's interesting, guys, you see, all this time, the government of Israel, specifically Bibi, had opportunity after opportunity to annex either certain parts or pretty much all of Judea and Samaria, right? We had opportunities to remove our enemies from our midst, let's say. We didn't do that either. In fact, we do the opposite. We pull people out of their homes, Jews out of their homes, with the hopes of so-called peace, which we see is not. That's not the end game here. So, rather, it's not to be achieved in that way. So, what happens? Well, Hashem is like, okay, if the government of Israel is not going to do this, if the Jews themselves are not going to do this, I'm going to send a very boisterous non-Jew, somebody who looks like the modern, literally, physically, looks like the modern embodiment of Esav. Red hair, red face, talks, just like Esav would talk. Self-aggrandizement, what's called gaiva, pride, obsession with Gashmias, obsession with materialism, but at the same time, also a lover of Israel and a lover of the Jewish people. Almost like that part of Esav that wants to reunite with us. That's what Rabbi Kessen said many times. He calls him Tov Sheba Esav. So Hashem sent Tov Sheba Esav, who now said, hey, I'm going to force Egypt, I'm going to force Jordan, basically with greenback, to take these people, the Gazans, the Arabs from Gaza. And now we have a Congress, American Congress, U.S. Congress, headed by this guy Tom Cotton. They pass a bill to now, in every document, a declaration that the U.S. issues, instead of writing West Bank, the terminology West Bank, they're going to write Judea and Samaria. My friends, do you have any idea how absolutely monumental that is? Meaning, even if we, God forbid, get the next president is like the biggest Amalek lover in the world, even if we get a carbon copy of Obama as the next president after Trump, God forbid, hopefully Mashiach comes by then, hopefully we won't have another president, right? But let's say that happens, they won't be able to renege the embassy in Jerusalem unless they really want to make a stink, and then upset every single Jew in America, and they won't be able to renege on this terminology. These are things that once they are done, it's going to have to take something monumental. And again, my friends, even the most leftist American president does not want to lose even 50% of the Jewish community in America, unless something drastically changes from now until then, right? And then in which case, guys, it won't matter because everybody will have to leave anyway, right? Like, we understand all the levers, all the kind of, we understand how this Rube Goldberg machine works, right? As it were. The ball hits the mechanism, then it goes down here, then it goes down there. We understand. If this, then that. If that, then this. Okay. So, guys, a lot has changed. A lot has changed. And unfortunately, it didn't happen by our own actions. It had to happen from the outside. But guys, listen, I mean, sometimes it takes non-Jews, for non-Jews to do something for Jews to realize, wow, this is what we have on our hands and this is what we should be doing. Guys, I liken it sometimes to, I notice there's a lot of converts to Judaism. I meet a lot of them. I met a lot of them in Israel and also in America, but mostly in Israel. And just a lot of non-Jews who love Israel and who study certain aspects of the Torah. And you talk to them and you realize that it's almost like they value Torah way more than most Jews you'll ever meet, unfortunately, right? Not only, and even they value Torah more than some Orthodox Jews you'll meet, or they value certain aspects of Judaism, of the traditions, or they're more firm to certain things. Or, for example, my friend Frank and I, for example, we have a lot of conversations where we talk about how we're, upset at God for this, and we don't understand God because of this. And this doesn't make sense, and how can you, we have this whole discussion, how can you love God because of this and this and that and the other. And we have a couple of our viewers that come and say, these are people who are either like converts or one of the people is converting, process of converting, another person just, non-Jew, just loves the Torah in Israel. Oh, how can you question God? Don't question God. We don't know this. It's true what they're saying. It's true. But we find out more often than not that Jews are the ones doing that, and non-Jews are just like, we accept whatever God does, meaning if it's a believing person, right? Whatever God does, even if it's like, seemingly the worst things ever, we accept. We don't question. It's God. We don't understand God. We don't understand His ways. And it's true. That's the right hashkafa. That's the right outlook to have, right? And a lot of the times, Jews, and even Orthodox Jews, people like myself and Frank, how can, this doesn't make sense. This, that. All this stuff, right? How can you love God? What is this love? What, whatever. My friends, my point is sometimes it takes, and anything we're doing, anything that Jews are involved in, sometimes you see people from the outside coming and saying, hello, you've got Judea and Samaria. Hello, you got to do this, in order to keep your country safe. You got to kick these people out in order to keep at least these people that live in this specific area next to your country in this like weird area, which really belongs to you. You got to kick them out to keep your country safe. Okay, you're not going to kick out the citizens, the Arab citizens of Israel. Okay, like that's already, that's already a different conversation. But at the very least, these people who are basically, again, we go back to, if you already realize that none of them are civilians, even the little kids, then they can't. And okay, you're not gonna, God forbid, you're not gonna drop a nuke on them. But yet these little kids are going to become future Hamas guys, right? Because that's how they educate their kids, right? Since, I don't know, age 4, age 3, age 5, right? They put fake little bomb belts on them and give them little guns. So now you understand that, like, you can't keep them here. If you guys understand that, then do it. And if you're not going to do it, Trump is going to do it. So, my friends, per Rabbi Kessin, we understand that Trump is here to help us. Us complete what? Complete the tikkun. Complete the rectification. I think Rabbi Kessin even said he doesn't even know if Trump is here to even necessarily make, so to speak, make America great again. And if America does become, so to speak, great again, it's only going to be in the merit of, as a result of helping Israel, helping the Jewish people. And not anything Trump does with regards to economy or anything like that. Yeah, he has a few strategies. What did he say? He has a semblance of a plan, which I believe he does. He didn't want to give his cards away. He does, right? You see his part of his semblance of a plan, right? Which looks like, on face value, it looks like a trade war, right? I think the trade war is going to last about a week or two. Right? That's my prediction. It's a different discussion, but guys, I mean, it's going to be in the merit of helping the Jewish people and helping Israel. And everything else, we're going to say, oh, we're going to attribute it to this and attribute it to that. Oh, he did like this, he went like that, he imposed this and he went that, he removed this. No income taxes, this, that, all this, shoots and ladders, pulls and levers, whatever, right? At the end of the day, guys, we see that this is all about one thing. It's all about the land of Israel, the people of Israel, everything that goes on around, the heartland of Israel, Jerusalem, Judea and Samaria, everything that's going to happen going forward with respect to Iran, and removing that whole thing. Mizrat Hashem, it should be soon. And, Purim's coming up soon. For all we know, guys, I mean, in about a month, we can see something incredible. We don't know. We don't know what's going to be. So, yeah, guys, so I was wrong. A lot did change, and even more will change very soon. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.